Hey Deadites, and welcome back to the channel. First things first, I just want to say a massive thank you to those who checked out my last video where I broke down the prequel details for Evil Dead Wrath. The response on that video was absolutely incredible, so thank you so much for the support. On July 9th, I will be going to an advanced screening for Evil Dead Burn, and to say I'm excited is quite the understatement. By now, we're all familiar with the synopsis. Alice is a grieving woman who joins her in-laws at their secluded house, only for her stay to turn into a literal family reunion from hell. But before the evil is unleashed, here are 5 things I absolutely want to see from Evil Dead Burn.
Let's go.
Let's be honest, Evil Dead Rise set the bar really high with its title card. For Evil Dead Burn, I want a title card that carries that same massive cinematic weight. It needs to be bold, visually striking, and immediately set the tone for the absolute nightmare we're about to experience. It's going to be hard to top Evil Dead Rise, but I really want them to try. Now, I'm pretty sure we are going to get this in the movie, but for me, when it comes to the Deadites in Evil Dead Burn, I want to see the cruel, psychological Deadite taunting. For me, this is absolutely key when it comes to the Deadites in the Evil Dead franchise. Because Evil Dead Burn centers around a grieving widow and her in-laws, the emotional baggage is already heavy. I want the Deadites to be actively cruel. I want them to tear this family apart verbally and mentally before they even touch them physically. Now, of course I'm going to say this, but the sound design in this franchise is legendary, and I want Evil Dead Burn to pay homage to where it all began. Specifically, I'm begging for them to use audio elements from the original Evil Dead, and in particular, the classic skin-crawling sound of the buzzing fly. That specific sound implies death. Mixing that vintage lo-fi terror into a modern high-end sound mix would be incredible. I remember sitting in the cinema watching Evil Dead Rise, and as soon as I heard the sound of the fly during the opening segment, a huge grin appeared on my face. I want to feel that same effect when watching Evil Dead Burn. Evil Dead protagonists don't just get chased, they get absolutely pushed through the meat grinder. What makes this franchise work is that these are ordinary people pushed to their absolute limits just to stay alive. Even Ash in the beginning starts as an ordinary person pushed to their absolute physical and emotional limits. In Evil Dead Burn, I want to see these characters forced into impossible, horrifying choices. For the horror to truly land, we need to feel their raw, exhausting desperation as everything goes to hell around them. And finally, I want to see a great credit sequence that keeps in line with the theme of Evil Dead 2013 and Evil Dead Rise. Rather than just cut into a boring black screen, I want the credits to display pages of the journal that we've already seen glimpses of in the trailers, pair those illustrations with a massive, haunting orchestral choir theme just like the last 2 films, and it will end the movie on the perfect chilling note. So, those are the 5 things that I want to see from Evil Dead Burn. Sebastian Vanacek has a hell of a task ahead of him, but if he delivers on even half of these points, I think Evil Dead Burn is going to be a great movie. What is the number 1 thing on your wish list for this film? Let me know in the comments down below. Don't forget to click that notification bell because I will definitely be making a spoiler-free review of Evil Dead Burn and possibly a ranking video where I rank the franchise so far, so stay tuned. If you enjoyed this video, give it a like, share it with your fellow Deadites, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and as always, stay groovy.